trying to get the women and children into the boat, sir.
Yes.
Sir?
Women and children first. Yes.
You've watched Titanic one too many times. Just remember that.
And that's the perfect way to begin this, because this video begins with that clip from Titanic, which is going to be cool, because we're talking about women and children first. This is the Van Halen record exchange. And you've seen Titanic way too many times, dude. I got to bring up my thing here, because then we have to talk about this. This is a great Van Halen. Well, first off, initial thoughts. What do you think of this record?
I think it's good, but not great. It's got a couple of weak spots on it.
A couple of, like, say, what?
Okay, so, like, I was listening to it recently. So if I had to pick a weak spot, In a Simple Rhyme or Take Your Whiskey Home, those are my weak spots. I love Fools. I love Romeo Delight. I love fucking Could This Be Magic. Such a great song. But Take Your Whiskey Home or In a Simple Rhyme, those are, like, my two weak spots on the record.
I'm with you on In a Simple Rhyme. It doesn't feel like a Van Halen song. It has some very nice harmonies, and it has that little bit at the end. For some reason, after the song ends, it launches into this kind of riff, and then it just ends right there. I thought that was pretty cool. That it's just sort of like, we're being sensitive in the song, you know. David Lee Roth is singing about angels, but then let's just remind you we're Van Halen. So that's how I saw it. For me, a weak point would be, In a Simple Rhyme. I do like Take Your Whiskey Home, though. I think that's a pretty bad jam. Right,
it was okay, but it's like those are. If I'm not feeling froggy to listen to the whole album, I'm gonna skip those two songs.
But In the Cradle Will Rock kind of gets overplayed. They play it all the time on FM radio stations.
The first two tracks get severely overplayed.
They do, but I love Everybody Wants Some.
Oh yeah, that's a great.
I hope to put in the Better Off Dead clip in here too.
You know what? What's funny is I actually tried that with my cousin. Now this was hilarious. I tried Facebook messaging him that clip from Better Off Dead, and Facebook wouldn't let me fucking send it to him.
Oh, that sucks. Why?
Because it's copyrighted material.
Really? Facebook wouldn't let you send that?
Yeah, they would not let me send. No, I could. Now, luckily we have iPhones. I could send him a video text.
Well, I mean, you can send. Well, yeah, that's true. You can just send a link.
Yeah, but I recorded it, and then I sent him, because I had never seen Better Off Dead before, and that I felt so bad because, like, that cool Van Halen guitar fucking hamburger shit, you know?
But okay, now getting into the snooty music critic pretentious portion of the show, I think they go bigger on this than they went on the first two albums. And also, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first Van Halen record to have the new Dolby noise reduction on it, because the sound is much bigger and more explosive than the previous two Van Halen albums. I may be wrong about that, but this one just feels bigger, and it feels more direct than the first two records sonically. It's like this record sounds like a monster, especially when you're hearing Everybody Wants Some. And when you're hearing Fools is one of my favorites.
Fools and Romeo Delight, like two great jams that just go straight into one another. So dude, like side one is just fucking incredible.
It's a big monstrous sound, and they were hinting at it. I think they were hinting at it in the first Van Halen record, especially with Eruption, right? But this is like Eruption turned up. It's almost like, I hate to use the the cliche, but this is like turned up to 11. This record sonically, these go to 11. But 11.
I mean, I like the fact that they try some different things on the record, especially the country. You know, with what is it?
With Take Your Whiskey Home?
With Could This Be Magic?
Oh, Could This Be Magic? Well, that's actually Could This Be Magic? Well, yeah, it's got kind of like this bluegrass feel, but the way they're harmonizing, it sounds like an old country song, like Big Bad Bill, you know, from Diver Down.
Right.
But they're harmonizing, so it's kind of got this sweet little kind of like, I don't know if it's doo-wop. It's not doo-wop. It's like, I don't know.
Acapella.
It's kind of like a cappella, and also they recorded rain sound effects outside the studio. Those were actual stereo rain sounds that they recorded, and they kept the microphone. They had a microphone outside of the studio, recording it while they were doing it to make it sound like that. I guess they were all singing in the rain or something. I don't know. Singing in the rain.
Pun intended. Pun intended.
Just singing in the rain. But you get into Everybody Wants Some, which is like okay. It was funny, because my wife took dance. You know, and I was like, this sounds like a cha-cha, right? And so she starts doing the cha-cha to the song in the kitchen. She says, yeah, that's a cha-cha. So Everybody Wants Some is a cha-cha song. You can actually do the cha-cha to it.
One of the best uses of Everybody Wants Some was in a recent movie, Rock of Ages, if you've seen it.
God, it plays on cable, and it's usually like the last 15 minutes that I catch. But
there's a scene.
Looks fun. It does look fun.
There's a scene in the movie with Tom Cruise waking up under a pile of women, and they're playing Everybody Wants Some.
Okay, you know, I mean, the thing about Everybody Wants Some is when you listen to the lyrics, they make absolutely no sense at all. It sounds like some kind of weird song written by Sting as stream of consciousness or something.
Well, I think David had more control on that song than anything else because, like you said, lyrically, that song is batshit crazy.
Well, that's how they construct a song, right? It's like okay, I think the boys come in with the music and then the singer writes the lyric. That's how David Lee Roth described the process, and that's how Sammy Hagar described the process too. That they would just write the lyrics to the music. So they would come in with this, and they probably came in with Everybody Wants Some. It was like boom, 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 you know. And then David Lee Roth has to just pull lyrics out of his ass. You can't get romantic on a subway line, wow, you know. And it's like, and also they have that relationship that Page and Plant had, where Jimmy Page would kind of like echo David Lee Roth with the guitar, and he does it in Fools too. And that's another great example of that. Fools, Everybody Want, and just sort of like doing this echoing thing, where you like, what was that song? Oh God, what was it? Whole Lot of Love from Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
You hear Page doing guitar, and he's mimicking Robert Plant as he's singing.
Yeah,
and also You Shook Me, when he does You Shook Me.
Okay.
And Page is doing this guitar thing, and he's imitating Plant. So I think that's what Van Halen did with David Lee Roth, just sort of imitated his sound a little bit. So what else is there to say about Women and Children? It's still part of that original 5-year plan with Van Halen that we hear a lot of these songs on Zero. Incidentally, somebody made a comment on the Zero video saying something about how they did demos before Zero. Yes, we're aware they did demos before Zero, but it was Zero that we were talking about, that me and John were talking about. But I replied in that same vein, and I was nice. Don't worry, I didn't curse him out.
Okay, good. You weren't being a catty prick.
I wasn't being a cunt. No. So Fools is how I begin the video, because Fools sort of encapsulates this period of Van Halen. It just gets bigger. But then they kind of, with Fair Warning, they kind of go back. Actually, Fair Warning has its own distinctive sound, I've noticed.
Yeah,
that.
Fair Warning is just an album in and of itself. Like, the whole album is this. You got 2 lead songs and nothing but experimental shit.
Yeah. This,
because literally, it's just what I said. There are 2 signature Van Halen songs on that album. Nothing else gets fucking played on the radio.
Yeah. And this record you could just as easily have called it Van Halen 3. They could, because it continues. It's a progression from Van Halen 1 to 2 to now this, and it's still kind of the same formula, but it's just a little bit bigger. The way it's produced, a little more ambitious too, with the whole, with Take Your Whiskey Home and Could This Be Magic, and also you have just the most awesome 1-2 punch, the beginning of the 1-2 punch for Van Halen, which is Tora Tora and Loss of Control. Tora Tora leads right into, and what is Tora Tora is a heavy metal song before it became popular. But I mean, I'm talking about like when Metallica and all that and the rest of them came out. And then Loss of Control turns into this kind of speed metal thing. There's a lot of stuff here that you can hear in later songs from Metallica, Megadeth, and Anthrax. And Slayer. Oh, fucking Tora Tora is a Slayer song.
Yeah.
It's a total fucking Slayer song when you listen to it. That riff, and then the screaming and all that, and the laughing, it all sounds like a Slayer song. And then you go into this, it sounds like Metallica.
I'm not going to argue that. That's pretty much exactly how it sounds. It has. I guess you could say that those guys pretty much, they listened to that album, they figured that's how they're going to start getting their thrash sound going on,
Yeah, and Loss of Control is very mathematical too, the way Metallica is in that way. Megadeth kind of goes crazy. Megadeth is like, and they have some weird tempo changes and stuff, but that was Dave Mustaine, and God knows what substances he was on at the time.
Yeah, Coke and Jack. That's what I'm about to say.
Yeah, but
not a Jack and Coke. He was literally on cocaine and Jack Daniels.
I think around the time they pumped his stomach, he had like 20 different drugs in his system. It was like he was on all kinds of prescription shit, and he was taking coke, and he was heroin, speed, crack. I think he had some crack in there too. But you know what's funny about Dave Mustaine? We were watching one time a long time ago, VH1, Celebrity Music Jeopardy. And Dave Mustaine was one of the contestants. Graham Nash from Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, right? And the guy from Sugar Ray, Mark something.
Mark McGrath. And I remember Mark McGrath smoked him, I think.
No, but Dave Mustaine went up winning.
Oh, he did, yeah.
He was like really fast on all the trivia. He knew a lot of trivia. Graham Nash didn't know shit because he was probably still back in 1968. Probably still rolling a J. I got to say rolling a J from now on because we rewatched Big Lebowski on Friday, which is, Big Lebowski gets better every time I watch it.
Like, I'm going to roll a J.
I'm going to roll a J. And I love when he's flipping out in the cab. He's like, could you turn that off? I fucking hate the Eagles, man. Oh, man. That awesome movie. Apropos of nothing outside of this discussion, go watch Big Lebowski if you haven't seen it. It's an awesome movie to watch.
Yes, it is. The best my favorite Coen Brothers movie next to Fargo.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I loved it, but Raising Arizona and Blood Simple and, what else?
Man Who Wasn't There.
Man Who Wasn't There was okay, yeah.
No Country for Old Men.
Great until the ending.
Hudsucker, fantastic, wonderful.
Shit. What else? Miller's Crossing, of course.
Oh, great movie.
Yeah, but for this is Women and Children First. Yes, and the introduction of the classic, I guess, the red Frankenstrat that
yes,
Eddie designed. Well, he had the Bumblebee. The Bumblebee was Van Halen 2, was it?
Yes, Bumblebee was Van Halen 2.
Yeah, he was just screwing around with like a regular guitar, and then he builds his own out of spare parts, and then he builds a new one. This is the red one, and this is the one that has the famous picture on the front, which is like, it looks like I guess Eddie's ODing, and the rest of the band has to hold him up. That's what I think. I'm ODing, man.
Eddie wouldn't OD. He would just drink himself stupid.
And David Lee Roth is there. He's like, I'm there. I'm here, but I'm David Lee Roth. He's just got this look on his face like, I'm David Lee Roth. Fuck you, I'm David Lee Roth. But really, a good, solid album. It's up. Where is it on my list? Let me check. Check the old list. Where is it on your list?
Number 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's number 7 on my list too.
There you go. Okay, cool. That's awesome.
It's right for me on my list. It's right below 1984 and right above For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge.
It is below Van Halen 2 because I prefer Van Halen 2, but below it is a different album. Albums I can't talk about. Not yet.
A different album. Oh god.
Mhm.
What would it be? What would it be above for you? Probably Diver Down.
Oh, it's above Diver Down.
It's way above Diver Down for me. Diver
It's
Down.
way above Diver Down.
Diver
It's
Down
above.
is like,
It's above. Oh, how about this? It's above Balance. Okay.
it's above Balance. Okay. All right.
It's above Balance.
All right.
I
yeah.
mean, anything is above Van Halen 3. Okay, anything is above Van Halen 3.
Pretty much. Yeah.
But this one, I'll tell you right now, it's above OU812, Balance, Diver Down, and A Different Kind of Truth.
All right. So
this one is, to me, this is the weakest. What is it? The last of the weakest, Van Halen albums out of the original lineup.
what about
Because no, Diver Down's the weakest of the original.
Yeah.
Of the original foursome. The pre-85 split, whatever.
Yeah.
Diver Down is the lowest, and then this is like right above Diver Down.
Now I wonder. Okay, yeah, I see that Helmut Newton, the famous photographer Helmut Newton, did the cover for this. From what I understand, he also took David Lee Roth aside and shot a bunch of pictures of David Lee Roth in bondage gear as well. And they're somewhere out there. I'm not going to put them here because I totally forgot about that. I forgot that Helmut Newton had. Well, maybe I can find them. Maybe I can find them and throw them in. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens as I edit this thing. But I do really enjoy this record. I can listen to it from the beginning to the end. There's nothing there that completely irritates me or anything like that. So it's still good. It's still up there with the Van Halen 1, 2. And I think around, I forget, maybe I skip a couple of songs on 1984. I'm sorry to say that. I know a lot of people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a couple of songs.
So you skip Top Jimmy, Drop Dead Legs?
Yeah, I skip Top Jimmy. I love Drop Dead Legs. I skip Girl Gone Bad, Good Girl Gone Bad.
No, Girl Gone Bad's jam, dude.
I skip. I don't know what else I skip, but that one I do skip a couple of songs because it's just so played out for me, that record.
Nah, to me it's not. I mean, Panama and Jump, yeah, but the rest of that record, I could jam out the rest of that record. I wouldn't care.
All right. Well, I guess we can wrap it up then.
Yep.
And we said all we need to say, and we weren't on a time limit. That was good. And the next time we'll be discussing the record that we both love. It's pretty much almost at the top of our list, of course.
Top of mine, almost at the top of yours. Well, no, almost at the top of mine, top of yours.
I kind of I showed my hand early when I said that Van Halen 2 was my favorite. Van Halen was my second favorite. So you'll have to figure that out next time when we talk about it, and let's try to dance the night away with. I'm really trying to. I'm trying to come up with some kind of a way to be clever about ending this episode. Take your whiskey home because you can't drink it here. Thank you.
Ha ha.
All right.
Ta-dunch.